everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, 7 Tools That Make Google Classroom Even Better, brought to you by Simple K-12. My name is Leanna, and we are here today with Matt Bergman. Now, a little about our presenter. Matt Bergman is a K-12 learning technology specialist at the Milton Hershey School in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He is a former high school and middle school teacher who won the 2015 Pennsylvania Association for Educational Communications and Technology Teacher of the Year. Matt is a Google for Education certified trainer and an Apple educator, and he frequently presents at face-to-face and online conferences across the nation. Matt, we are so excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Leanna, for having me, and thank you, everybody, for being here today on a lovely Saturday morning. Today, what we're going to do is talk about 7 tools that make Google Classroom even better. So if you're a Google Classroom user, you know that there are a lot of possibilities with using this tool, but what are some other tools to kind of enhance it and take it to the next level? So that's what we're going to talk about here this morning. So one of the things that Leanna had mentioned is, I make presentations all over the place, and I'm always coming back here to Simple K-12 to give webinars, and it is one of my favorite places to be just because of passionate educators like yourself. And so it's definitely something that if you're not a member, you should definitely try to take advantage of that. All right, so let's look at some different tools and strategies that you possibly could use to enhance your experience using Google Classroom. And so that's what we're going to do today. And let's talk about the first one, and that's Flipgrid. If you haven't used Flipgrid before, Flipgrid is an amazing way to transform discussions. As you know, there's a question feature in Google Classroom that you can use to have text-based discussion questions or even multiple choice polls. But what Flipgrid does is it actually you can integrate it right into Google Classroom by creating a grid that you can then have students respond to, and there's a variety of different ways that you can do that through just simply creating a topic. You can borrow topics from Flipgrid, from their library of different events, and then there's a feature where you can share it right up here in the top left-hand corner. You can share it directly to Google Classroom. You just tell it which class you want to post it to. It'll post it as an assignment or a discussion question, and then you can take your classroom discussion to the next level. So here's another option for you. Say, for instance, you post this Flipgrid to Google Classroom. What you can then do is you can actually have your students have the option of responding via text, or you can have them respond via video. So that could be another way of having your students then participate in a discussion question, because we know some students are very good at talking and other students would rather write. It could be a reflection tool. So let's say the last 5 minutes of class, you want students to reflect on what they've learned today. You could obviously have them do that, or even a debate. Having it as a debate and having students respond. When they respond to classmates, they respond via video. So there's a discussion that is occurring. It actually is really neat. If you've never seen Flipgrid before, the first response will go, then the next response, and the next response, and the next response. So that could be a great tool to use. And then last but not least, for instance, if you wanted to perhaps create a flip hunt, which is a digital scavenger hunt, you could post this on Google Classroom and then have your students use Flipgrid to do this particular scavenger hunt, where you have different tasks and different things that you want students to do. If you need more information on that, you can check out Flip Hunt or Flipgrid Fever using that hashtag on Twitter. So a bonus tool that I really like is, let's say, for instance, on Google Classroom, you're posting something else. Well, why not post Padlet? What I like about Padlet is it is a virtual Post-it note where students have some options. They can upload a document or picture or video. They can add a link. They could type in text. They could add a picture. And up in the top right-hand corner of your screen right here, you can share it directly to Google Classroom. So it will post right to Google Classroom. And then what you can do is you can have your students then respond. There's so many different ways you could do it. You could have an end of class parking lot discussion. You could have share resources. You could have students maybe take a picture or post a video of something that they've learned that day. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and you can post it in a visual way rather than in a discussion type of format that you would have on Google Classroom. So let's say, for instance, you want your students to take a quiz. Now, there is the quiz feature to build a quiz on Google Classroom, but I also like Quizzes, and Quizzes integrates very well. You can share quizzes on Google Classroom. What I like about it is it has this type of structure where you can go through and have a self-paced quiz that you can have students take, and it makes it fun. You know, it actually adds these funny memes right here, and it makes it more of a competition. You can do homework mode where students actually have to take this via homework, and it's at their self-paced. So it's there's a live game as well. So say, for instance, you wanted students to participate in taking a quiz, very much like Kahoot and you know, Socrative. If you've used those types of quizzes, you can just also do the live game feature. But the homework feature actually might be really helpful, especially if you're going to assign homework, or let's say that you're not necessarily in a one-to-one situation, but you have a small group of devices in your room, and you're breaking students into groups, and you have different technology stations that you're having students go to. You could have them go to a technology station and take a quiz using Quizzes and make it a competition. So that's actually really helpful. Like I mentioned earlier, when you're posting to Google Classroom, there is the ability to create a quiz. When you do go to the classwork tab and hit create, and you do quiz assignment, it automatically creates a Google form quiz for you. And then all you have to do is just fill in what the right answers are, the point values. You don't necessarily have to go up to the settings gear and turn that feature on, because it's automatically turned on for you. The best part too is Google Forms will grade that question for you. Although it's not Quizzes type of format where it's making it entertaining, interactive, it's more of just a very basic type of tool to assess students. So another thing too that you may want to think about is if you're a foreign language teacher, Duolingo. Duolingo integrates very well with Google Classroom as well. You can share lessons just simply with a button. It's very much like Khan Academy. And what I like about that is you can share your classroom. You can develop a classroom where students take interactive lessons to learn foreign language concepts. It's very heavy into vocabulary, so you could actually have students go and learn vocabulary terms. We know from research that students need 6 meaningful interactions with new vocabulary terms in order to solidify their meaning, and so that is very helpful, especially if you're a foreign language teacher, or maybe you have students who are you know, ESL or ELL students. They could actually use this tool to brush up on their English skills. A bonus tool off of that is Quizlet. So Quizlet is a flashcard type of program where you have different interactions that students can, or different activities that students can use to learn vocabulary terms, such as vocabulary, flashcards, spelling activity, a test, a matching activity. You can have pictures and things like that. Like I mentioned earlier, you need 6 meaningful interactions with new vocabulary terms. You can very easily share this on Google Classroom so that they can have it. With the new format of Google Classroom, where you have the classwork tab, the classwork tab makes it set up almost like an online course where you can set up topics and you can set it up almost like different modules and stuff like this. This actually might be a really good way, excuse me, to just embed some study tools in there so that students can go back and review important vocabulary terms. Like I said, all you have to do is just click on share, and then you can share directly to Google Classroom. Google Earth is also another great way of getting students involved with kind of seeing the world and sharing locations. One of the things I like about this is that you can go to a specific location on Google Earth, and then you can hit the share button, and then it'll allow you to directly post it to Google Classroom so that your students, when they click on that link, whether they have an iPad or Android device, or whether they have a laptop or a Chromebook, they can go exactly where that is on your map, which makes it a whole lot easier. What I also like is the whole Voyager feature, where if you go to the Voyager feature, there's a lot of field trips. This one was building the National Geographic photo arc, and what it does is it takes you all around the globe to help you learn and see different parts of this field trip called a Voyager, and then you can share it on Google Classroom as well, just simply by hitting this share button, and it'll take you right then and there. So another way to use Google Classroom and create an interactive experience is this whole idea of Pear Deck. Pear Deck allows you to take a Google slideshow presentation and make it interactive. So for instance, you could have students, once again, for homework or maybe at a station rotation, click on this link to a Pear Deck, and they can then complete this particular activity where they have some highlighting tools, they have a pen or pencil, they add text. I mean, there's a lot of different things that they can do with Pear Deck. And the beauty is that you just create a presentation and then you add these interactive components to it. Now, there's a paid version of it, and there's also a free version of it. And so the free version allows you to access Pear Deck via the Google Slides add-on. It has a template library that you can use. There's even a self-paced mode, which is really helpful for students. And so Pear Deck is a great way of doing things. But you may be used to Nearpod, and Nearpod is very similar, although you can't necessarily build Google slideshow presentations and add interactive components. The concept is very similar, where you have students then join with a code, or you could just simply share and click on share via Google Classroom. They click on that link and then they automatically get in, very much like Pear Deck. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you want to flip your classroom, or you want to have some type of video into instruction, which is very important. You could use Edpuzzle to do that, and so you could post Edpuzzle videos on your Google Classroom where students are then going into a video. And what I like about it is it reinforces accountability because there's some different things that you can do. So say, for instance, you have a 20-minute video and you only want your students to watch maybe like a 3-minute snippet of it. You could do that. Or if you wanted to have voiceovers where you say, hey, pay attention to this or pay attention to that. If you wanted audio notes where you're telling kids, hey, this is what this means, this is why it's important, you can do that. Or even a quiz feature. What I like about that is the whole ability to watch a video, and then what it does is it pauses it. You have to take a quiz. You can answer a multiple choice short answer question, put in your response, and it automatically grades that for you. You get a grading report as a teacher on that. And once again, you just simply click on a link and it'll post it right to Google Classroom. As you're noticing with all of these different tools, all of them you can post directly to Google Classroom. There's no like you got to log in here, log in there. That's what makes it so great to infuse with Classroom, is because it's just a button. Now, the last one that I have here is just a tad bit different. Although there's no button that you have to necessarily press to share in Google Classroom, it does integrate Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets, and that's the whole idea of a hyperdoc. What a hyperdoc is it's an interactive type of Google document, whether it's a doc, a slide, the sheets, and it has interactive components that students are using to then create, collaborate, communicate. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. If you want more information, go to hyperdocs.co. They have a bunch of templates that you can use. They have examples that you can use. This is a template right here that you could potentially use in your situation. It has different sections right here, but here's an example of what a hyperdoc may look like. I like this example because what it is it has a video component where students are going to, watch a video. They're going to go to a Google form. They're going to explore. They're going to explain by clicking here. They're going to fill out this Google form or Google document right here, hyperdoc, with some information, and then there's a component at the very end. one of the great things about Google Classroom is that you could post this and then you could make a copy for each student, so each student has their own copy. I saw another example of a great hyperdoc where they were talking about it was a history lesson. The kids were supposed to watch a video. They were then going to Flipgrid and they were going to do like a 3, 2, 1 type of activity. Then they were going to go into a Google slideshow presentation and add to a slide deck that was created so that they created collaborative slide deck in class. So that's just a different way of doing things. And so once again, like I had mentioned, all of these tools integrate very well with Google Classroom, just simply by clicking a button, all with the exception of hyperdocs. And the more and more interactive you can make Google Classroom, the more and more engaging it can be with students. So I want to thank you guys very much for taking this really quick tour of things that you can do with Google Classroom. I want to just share with you a couple different things before I end, because I do have a couple more minutes here. And I want to just share with you, obviously, on Google Classroom, one of the really big benefits of using this tool and using different tools that integrate with it. So let's say, for instance, I go right here to my class, and what I was talking about earlier was this whole classwork tab. This is going to be really important for if you're going to be using some of these different tools in Google Classroom, where you can just simply hit create, and then you can then post many of these things simply from the website, or you could copy and paste that link and you can post it right in here by hitting create. Now, the new format of Google Classroom, where you have this classwork tab, as you can see, I have these different topics headings where it says grammar, it says short stories and spelling. What I would recommend that you do ahead of time before you start using these other tools is hitting create and creating a new topic. So let's say, for instance, that I'm going to change this to vocabulary. Okay, I'm going to hit add. And what I like about this is it will add it right down here at the bottom, and then I can actually just move it. I can click and drag it wherever I'd like, and that would then allow me to organize it in just a user-friendly way. Okay, so I have vocabulary right here. Now, when I'm posting other things to Google Classroom, so let's say, for instance, I wanted to create that quiz or that question. Okay, so I'm creating a question right here. Just go right here. So I'm just going to put sample question. One of the cool things you can do is when you are trying to post, whether it's Flipgrid, whether it's Quizlet or Padlet or something like that, when you're posting it directly from the application, it's going to ask you what class you want to go to, and then it's going to ask you how you want to post it, whether that's a discussion question, whether that's a material, whether that's an assignment. It doesn't matter what you post it as, but then it's going to ask you to give it a name, and this is the most important thing. To help yourself stay organized, you can go right down here where it says topic, and then you can choose which topic you want it to go to, and then I'm going to hit ask right here. And as you can see in the vocabulary section right here, it's going to post. So I would highly recommend that if you're going to use any of the tools that I showed you earlier to organize the classwork tab by, you could do this by topic, you could do it by chapter, you could do it by however you want to do it, but that will help you stay organized rather than it being a free-for-all. Now, what you'll also notice, too, is right here, the Stream tab. It does post things on the Stream tab, and this is more like just a chronological activity report of what's going on. Now, if you don't like this, which I think a lot of students get confused with this, especially primary students, you can go right up here to the settings gear, and then you can see right here where it says classwork on the stream, you can say hide notifications so that they don't get confused. So when you're posting different things from Google to Google Classroom, they won't get so confused with this. This was something that I did before I turned that feature on, and I can also delete it so I can make it go away. So that's something to think about. This Stream tab is also really good to communicate different things with your class. So let's say, for instance, you have where you posted from Quizzes, you have a couple different stations that you're having students doing. You're doing direct teaching in one station, another activity in another station. Maybe you have students working in different groups, which you could potentially do in this Stream tab is you could simply go right here and you could say, you know, today's date, so we'll say it's Saturday, 5/11, and then you could just put down, you know, group 1, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to use quizzes. And group 2, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go and you're going to do direct instruction. And then what you could also do is if you have the groups set up, you could attach a spreadsheet or a Google Doc or whatever it is with the different groups. So now your stream becomes an agenda of what you're doing that day. The kids can then go to the classwork and then use all of those 7 tools that we were talking about earlier to make Google Classroom a whole lot better. So those are some tips that you may want to consider, especially if you're using these different tools. The 7 tools that I listed earlier, they are not the only tools that integrate very well with Google Classroom. There are so many different tools that do that. A simple Google search will allow you to see other tools that work. And so you may want to consider checking that out, checking out some tools that are going to work with your particular situation. And you're going to be very, very surprised at what exactly you find and some of the tools that integrate very well with Classroom. And if you're also a Remind user, you'll notice that Remind in Google Classroom, a lot of the apps that integrate well with Classroom integrate really well with Remind as well. So I want to thank you guys very much for participating here in today's webinar. I have my information right here. Let me just blow it up for you. So I have my blog, I have my email address and Twitter handle here. But if you are interested in getting a copy of this presentation, I just simply ask if you could go to this bit.ly address right here. It is case sensitive, so it's bit.ly and then it's a /. It's a number 2. Now it is capital Y, and then it's 772, capital V and capital Z. That's going to take you to a brief survey. It's just 10 questions. If you could just give me some feedback, that helps me with my Google for Education Certified Trainer status. And then it'll give you a link to this particular presentation at the end. Feel free to use it. If you have any questions at all, you can give me a call and or on Twitter or on email, and I would definitely try to help you out. So, Leanna, I'm going to turn it right back over to you, and thank you very much.
Great, Matt. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the screen back and get the contact information that we have for you, and then get to some questions. Let's see. Is there a way to monitor Parley?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, let's see. Can you quickly describe the difference between posting of announcements and assignments in Google Classroom?
Yeah, so with posting an announcement in Google Classroom, basically what you're doing is you're just posting something that you want your students to, just see, like, okay, bring your book to class tomorrow, or, don't worry, or we're gonna have a field trip on Friday. So like an announcement, and that's gonna be in your stream tab. Okay, so like I just showed you earlier, like here are the groups that we have. This is what you're going to be doing. This is where you're going to be going. When you're posting an assignment's where you're going to collect something from students. So whether it's something that they create on their own, whether it's something that you created a template and then they make a copy, it will go in the classwork tab. And then it will automatically then populate a Google Drive folder in your Google Drive, and then also in the student's Google Drive.
Okay, great. Out of the different tools that you used, what would be best for lower grades like kindergarten and first grade?
So with kindergarten and first grade, I've seen Flipgrid work really well. So if you're going to be using Google Classroom and you want to use something that it would be a little bit easier to infuse with Google Classroom, I would say using Flipgrid, or even might be able to use quizzes as well, but I would say Flipgrid's probably the easiest.
Okay, great. Marcy typed in and said that her Google Classroom doesn't have the classwork option. Is that part of a new update?
Yes. So over the summer in August, Google Classroom just went through a new redesign. And so if you created a class prior to that release, it was towards the end of August, you're probably not going to see that classwork tab. Anytime that you create a new classroom, you will see those 3 new tabs: the stream, the classwork, and the people tab.
Okay, great. Let's see. And is okay, there it is. I couldn't find my question. Is Pear Deck collaborative?
Is Pear Deck collaborative? It's more of, if you're familiar with like Nearpod, it's more of where the student is going to be just basically turning in stuff and submitting stuff to just the teacher. If you want the collaborative parts, trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, you could obviously create a collaborative Google slideshow presentation, but it's mostly designed for an interactive experience between the teacher, the student, and the deck itself.
Lots of questions about how to get the CEU certificates, and I know Anne was asking earlier how to get her membership to Simple K-12, so I'll go ahead and answer that now for you guys. If you see the CEU certificate on the screen, that's just a really great example of what they look like here at Simple K-12. This is a perk of our membership here. So if you are a member of Simple K-12, the CEU certificates for your clock hours, PGP points, whatever your state or district calls them, will be available within 48 hours. So I'm going to show you guys how to get those. And if you aren't a member of Simple K-12, I will show you just how easy it is to join today. So bear with me. Once you get your membership, these are the steps that you would take. You just go to view your profile, and hopefully members, you're familiar with this. Go into your transcript report. Now you will have your own transcript report, and it will log all of your on-demand webinar activity as well as your live activity for today. 48 hours after today's live event, you will see this little ribbon, and hopefully you guys can see this here on the left. I'm kind of trying to highlight it here. When you click that, you can print your certificate of completion for each webinar event. If you want to print them all at once, you can just use the date range filter and then print the entire transcript. Now, a lot of people also asking about Canva or Canvas, a really great tool. So I want to show you where all of the other training content is. Also, folks asking, how do I watch this again? Do you have more Google training? I know we have a great lineup today, but I wanted to show you, once you log in, how to access all of the on-demand training from Simple K-12. So all you do is click our course catalog. Guys, thousands of trainings available at your fingertips. Our members absolutely love this. Again, if you're not a member yet, I'll show you how you can join in just a second. But guys, check this out. You will be like a kid in a candy store. Earning your CEUs has never been easier. Plus, again, going back to that PD model where, you know, one size does not fit all. Here you can decide what you want to learn, when you want to learn it, whether it's blended learning. Maybe you want to do blogging in your classroom. Maybe you have classroom management issues. Don't we all? College and career readiness, counseling topics, differentiation, personalized learning, sweeping the country right now, digital storytelling, ESL, ELL, game-based learning. Then we get to all things Google. If you're a beginner, you might want to jump into Google Basics. You might not be able to see this, but we have 64 webinars available on Google Basics. That is 32 credit hours. Then you can jump to Google Intermediate, another 67 webinars, 34 credit hours. And if you have Google Chromebooks, keep on going, jump into that. About 20 credit hours just on using the devices, from classroom activities, managing them, everything you could want to know. And we're only on G. If you keep scrolling, you're going to go to learning theories. That's why we have things like Marzano and all of the different learning theories that are out there. Microsoft, mobile learning intermediate, personal enrichment, reading and writing. That's where we're going to get into curriculum areas, response to innovation, school safety, special ed, STEM. STEM is so hot right now. Google is definitely our hottest training topic, and STEM is right right behind it. Maker spaces, coding, robotics. Guys, it is all there for you. You're going to be learning and connecting with the world's best trainers. These are the folks that come on and conduct the training for you, the same folks that charge hundreds of dollars for workshops or thousands of dollars to come into your school. I know you're going to recognize these educational rock stars. I can't even scroll through them in time, guys. This is all available for you, not to mention the Shared Resources Center, where you can browse by subject, grade level, and resource type, download activity sheets, lesson plans. If you're not a member of Simple K-12 yet, today is your day. We would love for you to join. Now, normally, a membership. Now, guys, I hope you're paying attention. This is going to show you how to join today. I know a lot of those questions were coming in. When you go to our site, and Lori's going to send you a link here in a second. If you go to our site, the regular membership price is $397 for 1 year access. You do not have to pay this today. So guys, don't worry about that. But for the members that are here that have paid their membership fee already for the year, you guys know this is an incredible value. That's about the cost of a 3 or 4 day conference. And this is 24/7, 365. So a full year of access. But like I mentioned, you do not have to pay that today. So to get a price, or to not pay this, Lori is going to send you a link, and you have to have this very special link, and I'll show you exactly what to do, guys. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to get all of the live upcoming webinars, 500 live webinars a year. You're going to get all of the on-demand CEU certificates, 24/7, 365. You're going to have access to the Shared Resources Center, the trainer. Now, again, normally one of our discounts takes it down to $297. This is great for friends and family, things like that. You're not even going to pay that today, guys. We have a triple discount for you, taking it down to $197. That's $200 off. And then our final triple discount price, just $177. But guys, you can only get this if you have the special link that Lori gave us. And what, Lori? The coupon?
There's a coupon code today.
Coupon code? Okay, I don't think the coupon works with this offer because it's already low. But we can try it out. Someone wrote in about a coupon code. We have our friends and family event going on. I don't think this is going to work, but we can try it. Wow. Is that supposed to happen? $30 off. All right. Well, it seems to be working. Okay. So a triple plus a discount. So, all right. Sorry. Let's go back here. It looks like our friends and family discount is working on top of the webinar discount. I don't know how long this will be working. The coupon code is family. Normally, let's see if I do it again. What happens? No, okay, just 30. Now I'm getting greedy. Okay, guys, go ahead. I can't promise how long that coupon code's going to be working, only because I know it's supposed to be taking it off of the $297, but it is working on the $177. Let's try the 2-year option. Let's see if it works there. It does not work there. So it looks like it's only working if you want the 1-year option. Maybe they turned it off because they found out that it's working. Nope, it's still working. Okay, so it's working on the 1-year option. Hey, I say take advantage of it. If there's a tech glitch, that's on our end. I think you guys should totally take advantage of that. Normally $177. If you go into the 1 year, I'm gonna keep trying this. Looks like the $30 is coming up. Okay, guys, this is a no-brainer for $147. Yeah, that is, you can't get any sort of professional development for that price. That's 1 year access to absolutely everything, $147. So Lori's going to send you the link. Again, I don't want to, say anything incorrectly. So what I will have to say is that the price for today is $177. So that will be available until midnight. It appears that there is a glitch with our friends and family coupon. It is working on the $177 price. But we cannot guarantee that. So that seems to be some sort of tech glitch. I know once the orders start coming in, our tech team is probably going to get some sort of notification. It is a Saturday. I'm not sure if they'll be working or catching it, but Lori's going to keep an eye on that. If you buy now, it looks like the $30 is still coming off. The coupon code is family. So guys, family, what's most important to us, it's part of our friends and family deal. That does seem to be working on the 1 year option. It's not working on the 2 year option. So 1 year, just $147 if you use that coupon code family. Guys, don't feel bad. Someone asks, is it cheating if I use it? No, it's not cheating. It's working. That's on our end. You should not feel bad about it. You should feel great that you're getting a good deal. Will the 147 be valid until midnight tonight? I can't say that, guys, because it really should be 177. That is the discount that we're offering for the webinar, and it will expire at midnight tonight. But it does appear that the coupon code family is working, so you guys are getting an incredible value on this. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about something. If you love today's webinar events and you want to come back for more, you have to have your membership, because normally these events are members only. If you want access to over 1,000 videos on demand to watch at your leisure, you have to have this membership. If you want to connect with 800,000 other teachers just like you who are in your same shoes every single day, we're all in this together. We stay up late, we wake up early, we're grading papers during ballet practice. Guys, this is a community of educators dedicated to helping each other. Sometimes we're going to be at a high in our career, sometimes we're going to be at a low, and we're going to need a helping hand. And that's what Simple K-12 is all about. We've all been to a boring professional development seminar before. Irrelevant, not engaging. It's not something that we can put into our classroom, but Simple K-12 is here for teachers, by teachers, made for you. And don't forget the certificates of completion. But guys, I want to point something out, because if you're joining us today because this event went viral on Facebook or a friend told you about us, you might not know too much about Simple K-12. We've been in business for over 35 years. We're the world's largest provider of online professional development. We serve more than 1 million teachers all around the world. We work with schools, states, teachers from literally over 120 countries. And guys, we offer a 45-day, 100% money-back guarantee. I don't want you to say that you like Simple K-12. I don't even want you to say that you love Simple K-12. We want you to say that Simple K-12 is hands down the best professional development experience you have ever had as a teacher. And if you can't say that, we will give you your money back, because this is an investment in yourself. That's what professional development is: learning, growing, and sharing, becoming a better version of you. And really, for me, it's all about staying motivated. Sometimes it is tough, especially this time of the year. It can be rough, guys. We've all been there, but your peers are going to be there to lift you up, encourage you, give you ideas. And I got to go check to make sure this coupon code is still working, because I can't even believe that it is $147, guys. You probably have not seen this price before. You probably won't see it again. I do see that the orders are coming in, so the coupon is working. Matthew just joined, Rodney just joined, Sarah just joined, Jasmine joined, Scott joined, Julie joined, Mark joined, Troy joined. The coupon code is working. DJ joined, Sarah joined, Michael joined, Linda, Lisa, Rich. Guys, this coupon code is working. I don't know how long it will be working for. You have to have this special link. I'll put it up on the screen. Take a picture of it. simpleK12.com/Google webinar. The code is still working, yes. How will I know if the code works? Well, when you type in the word family, it will take $30 off. Now, if the code stops working, guys, I want to point out $177 is an incredible value for absolutely everything you get. You cannot find this type of professional development anywhere close to this cost. You are joining a network of teachers that are all going to be there for you 24/7. Now, I'm just scrolling through. The coupon code is working. I'm getting notifications on my cell phone about all the orders that are coming through. It's working. You can grab that. Just go to this link, add family. For some reason, it's only working on the 1 year. There's definitely some sort of tech glitch. Let's see here. All right, I did just get a text from our tech team. They asked if there was something wrong with the webinar pricing. I'm not going to answer them yet. I'm going to, I'll answer them once the next webinar starts. So guys, you have about 10 minutes. I'm going to hold off to text them back until after I kick off the next webinar. So you're going to have a little bit more time to scoop up that. Again, you're getting not only a triple discount, but if you apply the word family at checkout, you're going to take an extra $30 off. I got to go start up the next webinar event, and I'll see you soon.